We continue to follow that breaking news. R. Kelly, a verdict in his federal trial here. The U.S. Attorney John Lausch, he is speaking right now. Let's listen in.
For producing child pornography, and 3 of those verdicts were guilty for Robert Kelly enticing minors to engage in sexual activity. Robert Kelly and his 2 co-defendants were acquitted of other counts they were charged with in the indictment. The evidence at the trial in this case revealed reprehensible conduct. That Mr. Kelly engaged in sex acts with multiple girls under the age of 18, and he recorded some of those sex acts on video. We are pleased with the fact that Robert Kelly is finally being held accountable for that reprehensible conduct. We are particularly pleased that Robert Kelly is finally being held responsible for the abuse of his 14-year-old goddaughter. As you may recall, that was the subject of the 2008 trial in Cook County. And the jury in this case found him guilty of that very same conduct. For these counts on which Robert Kelly has been convicted, he's facing very severe prison sentences. On the first 3 counts in the indictment, each of the child pornography production counts, he's facing a sentence of 10 to 20 years imprisonment. On each of the enticement counts, he's facing a sentence of 0 to 10 years imprisonment. So overall, Robert Kelly is facing a prison sentence of 10 to 90 years imprisonment based upon the jury's finding in this case, and for that, we're very thankful. Obviously, we're disappointed in the not guilty verdicts on the remaining counts. I would like to thank, really truly, the outstanding work of many, many people who was able to bring Robert Kelly to justice here today. First, I'd like to thank the prosecutors in this case and my team here at the U.S. Attorney's Office, outstanding people who've worked tirelessly for years in order to put this case together and to bring Robert Kelly to justice, the 4 prosecutors who are behind me and other staff members in my office. Second, the law enforcement officers who for years worked tirelessly to work with the victims in these cases and to bring the evidence that we were able to show to the jury in this case. Most notably, the Department of Homeland Security Investigations, the IRS Criminal Investigation Division, who were the leads in this case in particular on the federal side. And we'd also like to thank the outstanding work of the Chicago Police Department and the Cook County State's Attorney's Office for what they've done over the years on this as well. But really, most importantly, and I think the main reason why I'm down here right now, is I want to thank the victims. I want to thank the survivors, and they are survivors, the people who survived Robert Kelly in his years of abuse at his hands. Their courage to come into this courtroom and to stand before the jury and to reveal the unspeakable things that that man did to them and then videotape them. It's remarkable. Their courage in coming forward, their perseverance, and their resolve to be here years later to tell their story is truly remarkable. And these verdicts, these guilty verdicts in this case, it vindicates them. And not only vindicates them, it vindicates the other individuals who came forward in this case to tell their stories as well. Right. And so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions that you all might have.
Do you hope this sends a broader message to other victims?
I do. It's hard. I mean, we can see this case in particular, right? I mean, we had a case where there was reprehensible conduct that was presented to the jury, video evidence that was presented to the jury, and what I hope this shows the victims, and again, now the survivors in cases like this, is that it's important to come forward and that you have law enforcement, whether state or whether federal law enforcement, we will be there for them in order to hold accountable those people who did those unspeakable things to them.
John, Mark Kelly's attorney said afterwards right here that she believes that McDavid and June Brown were only charged to give them a role and cooperate against Kelly, that it was all being victim who prosecuted. Can you please counter that or say whatever you want?
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, the reason why we charged McDavid and Brown is because we believed that we can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that they committed crimes in this case. You know, we believe those are righteous charges then, we believe those are righteous charges now. We respect the jury's verdict in this case, as we do and as we must. You know, the allegations in the indictment were that they obstructed justice, and we believe that's in fact what happened. Again, the jury found otherwise in this case, but they were righteous defendants in our mind, and that's why we brought the case.
Mr. Lausch, one of the victims of the indictment, Brittany, did not testify, and that count Kelly was acquitted on. Could you speak to why she didn't testify, and if she did, would that have potentially changed jurors' minds?
I don't know if that would have changed jurors' minds or not. But what I will say, because I have heard one of the comments about that, her not testifying. Let's think about what the conduct was here again, okay? This was that individual, Brittany, engaged in a threesome, right? Brittany, who was a minor, engaged in a threesome with another person. And the third person in that threesome was Robert Kelly. And one of those people got on the stand and told about the horrific conduct that occurred in that case, right? That was absolutely a righteous charge to bring, a just charge to bring, and we would bring that again tomorrow.
Was it just that it was so difficult that she couldn't testify?
I'm not going to get into that as to why she wasn't here. I understand why you're asking, but don't feel it's appropriate for me to talk about that. Thank you.
Is there any way that the sentence in New York would be considered, could you ask for it to be considered consecutive to that?
Yes, that's a great question, Jason. So the question is can we ask that the sentence here be consecutive to the one in New York? And the answer is yes. So the judge will have discretion, as I understand it, that the sentence in this case, which will be 10 to 90 years, can either be concurrent or consecutive. But I will tell you, when we have cases like this, when we have instances where defendants are convicted of committing horrific acts against other individuals, and it's separate and apart from other horrific acts that he committed against other individuals, we're asking for that stuff to be consecutive, and I expect that we will do so here. We'll speak more formally in our sentencing papers when they come out, but to be very direct, yes, this can be a consecutive sentence, and I expect that's what we're going to have.
You've been listening to U.S. Attorney John Lausch, who focused on the survivors, the victims in this case, thanking them for their remarkable courage, saying that they're pleased the R. Kelly finally is being held responsible for this reprehensible conduct.